Kern, I really love eating food, but I want to lose weight. What do I do? This is a really common question, and this is something that I struggled with, so I'm really passionate about this topic. One thing, I'm going to come straight out of the gates, and I'm going to tell you, everyone watching this, you think you love food, but you don't really. You think you love food, but you don't really. Now, what do I mean when I say that? What I can bet is when you're eating food, you're multitasking, you're doing other things as well as eating food. And what you've done is you've created positive associations with eating food and doing other activities together. So you've combined this. Let me give you an example. You might have a long day at work. You're coming home, you want to sit down on the couch, you want to watch some Netflix. You watch some Netflix. It might not be enough to just watch some TV by itself. You want to have some snacks, you want to eat something. You might have a bucket of ice cream while you're watching your favorite show. Now, what you've done in that moment is that you're doing two things, right? So firstly, you've come from work, you're feeling a certain emotional state, you're feeling drained, maybe you want to just recharge your batteries, you're sitting there. That's nothing wrong with that part. But what you've done is you've eaten food and at the same time you're watching TV. So what you've created the association of is that when I come home and I eat food and I watch TV together at the same time, I feel relaxed and I feel good. This is just one example. We've created associations with food for a number of different scenarios. Another one is going to the cinemas, right? You go to the cinemas, you feel like you just almost a necessity to have food with you because watching the movie by itself can become boring. So you want to add excitement to it, you want to add that level of emotion to it, so you have a bucket of popcorn or your soft drink or whatever it might be. When you're going out with friends or when you're meeting friends, it might not be enough to have a nice conversation. So what you want to do is you want to add to that experience by having food. So a lot of the times we think that we love food, but what we've actually done is we've created that emotional scenario where we've created that state where we enjoy the food that we're eating with the other activity that we are doing. Now, it's fun, it's enjoyable, nothing wrong with it, but it is harmful because now what happens is that we've become obsessed and it's a compulsive behavior in our life, and it's not allowing us to reach the goals that we want to. So the question started off, I really love food, but I want to challenge you and stay again. You don't really love food, but you love the feeling that it gives you in the different scenarios that you eat it, right? There are times when you're completely hungry and food does satisfy you, but those times are very little compared to all the other times we're eating food to stimulate our senses. Quick action tip. I hope this is a massive insight for you. We can go for hours on this, but this is it. What we've done is we've created positive associations with food with different activities. When we do different activities, we don't even realize how much food we're eating. So you might be wondering, Ken, what do I do? What do I do if I've created these positive associations? The good news is the action that you're going to take is very simple. The bad news is that you'll have to be persistent and patient with this because you've trained yourself like this. It might be for 10, 15, 20, 30 years you've trained yourself to eat this way. What I'm going to suggest to you now is going to take you through a whole different way of training to eat food. So you'll have to be patient and you'll have to be persistent and you'll be going back and forth about the thing that I'm going to suggest. Very simple, but very difficult at the same time. What I'm going to suggest is as many times as you can throughout the day, break the association of doing an activity and having food at the same time. In simple words, when you're eating food, just eat food. That's the only real time where you can fully devour the food. It's when you're paying full attention to it. When you're doing all these other activities, are you really loving food? It's like telling your spouse, like, I really love you, but I only love you when I'm watching TV. Right? So this is my challenge to you for as many meals as you can, and this will take time and it will take practice. And in my coaching programs, we go into a lot of in-depth with a lot of strategies on how to go around it because it's not as simple as you think. But for this purposes of this short video, sit down on a table, take out all the distractions that you can, concentrate on the food. I can guarantee you your mind might be going erratic and having all these different thoughts about like, I could be doing this, I could be doing that, I could be entertaining myself this way or that way. But you said to me, the person who asked me this question, you said to me, you love food. So I'm going to hold you to it. Do you really love food? If you really love food, you'll sit with it, be one with it, enjoy it. Slowly what will happen is, I'm talking like a few months down the track, what will happen is you'll start understanding your body signals a lot more. You'll start understanding your hunger signals a lot more, and you'll start knowing exactly the foods that nourish you, the foods that you actually enjoy. You'll have a more direct connection between the food you're eating and how you feel. When that happens, wow, the game just changes. The game just changes. You're naturally going towards healthy foods. You're naturally enjoying the food that you're having without distractions. You're naturally being mindful. You don't have to try to be mindful. You're just being in that moment. You're being peaceful. You're loving it. You're enjoying the food. And at the same time, you're not overeating. And you don't have these cravings because you've truly enjoyed your food, because you've single focused your attention on it. Now, this is going to be very tricky for a lot of you guys, and you might try it for 1 day or 2 days, and then you might fall back into your old habits. Create some kinds of reminders, because this is the most powerful thing that you can do. If you break all the associations that you have with food, that is you reaching your health and fitness goals. I would say 80% there, right? So I'd encourage you to break those associations and really, really love food. As funny as it is, the more you love food, the easier it is to stay on track on your health and fitness goals.